Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
Hello, everybody. Today I'm interviewing Doug Rains, a top producer, full-time licensed professional realtor with Keller Williams in San Diego. Welcome, Doug. Thank you for being here today.
Hey, Eric. Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity.
Great. Doug, before we get into your business, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. I am a husband, a father, a friend, and a realtor. Really in that order is how I look at it. You have to have balance. I worked in the corporate world for 25 years, and towards the end of that career, my job kept me away from my family just way too much. So I wanted to find a career that allowed me some flexibility in my schedule, and man, was I wrong when I started to become successful in real estate, because you need to be available 24/7 for your clients. Really like all entrepreneurs, though, I just desired to be successful, bring something to the table that other agents might not bring to the table. So that's how I did it.
Well, what got you to go towards the real estate? Is there anything, or did you just stumble upon it, or how did that work?
I had a neighbor of mine that was in the lending and real estate business. He was a neighbor and a friend, and obviously we lived in a cul-de-sac, so we always got together, all the families in the cul-de-sac, and it just kind of came up in conversations, and I thought, you know what, now would be a good time to do it. I was on the road way too much, and I decided to make that change. Needed to do it for all the right reasons. And I had bought several houses, throughout my lifetime, moving with the company that I worked for. So I liked the idea of real estate and helping people. So I guess that just kind of came right up my alley.
Well, you talked about wanting to help people. What about other attributes, traits, qualities that contributed the most to your success? And how did you develop those? Or were those developed along the years of you doing this with real estate?
Yes, they continue to develop. I think that's something that we always need to continue to work on and improve upon. But I think in the corporate world, I was in customer service and sales for literally all those 25 years. I prided myself on customer service and communication, and saying what I'm going to do and then do it, follow through with it. And I think, part of that is the upbringing too, the family aspect of it, how I grew up in my family and how I portray the same values in my family and try to teach upon my child. Only have one. That's enough, but just try to improve every day. You ask your clients what you could have done differently or what you could have done better, and the communications that we have between them, it's honest, open-end communication. So whatever they say, if there's things in there that I can improve on, absolutely, I'm going to do it. I'm also, I do a lot of reading, take a lot of courses that's business specific, and, you got to always improve. You never stop. You can't.
Can you think of some examples that your traits had an impact on in terms of your path of success?
I think it's still going back to, telling my clients what I'm going to do and then follow through. Mm-hmm. I make them hold me accountable. I'm pretty organized in my business, so there's several ways to communicate, and I ask my clients which way they want to be communicated with, telephone, in person, email, text. And then I ask them how frequently they want to be communicated to based on the transaction. I can do it every day, every other day, once a week, every Monday, every Friday. So I kind of let them choose on, I don't want to be bugging them. I just want to keep them on board of where we are in each transaction.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of let them tell me how they want to be communicated with. And that's what I do. They tell me, I say I'm going to do it, and I do it.
Good. Makes sense. And, as it's often the case, there's no straight line to success, right? There's always ups and downs. And can you talk about some of the adversities you overcame to achieve these goals?
I think, when you first start out in a business, especially in real estate, where I came from is I was new to the area. I only lived in California, San Diego area for 5 years before I switched my careers. My family and relatives and friends were, all back Midwest. So I think getting into the business was hard for me on not having a huge sphere of influence, people who, know me, trust me, and love me, and would refer me to others. So I think that was the most difficult part starting out, but having the ability to not be shy and get on the phones and contact people, introduce myself, let them know that I am a realtor, and if they are in the market to sell, buy, or invest in real estate, or know anybody in their sphere of influence that is ready to sell, buy, or invest in real estate, I'd be more than happy to talk to them. And then just working long, hard hours. This is not an easy business to get into. It's not an easy business to stay into. So,
and what kept you going when it was getting very tough? So what kept you going? Just to get the extra mile when you're just about to let go, if it ever happened. But how did you keep going through all these difficulties?
I have a family, to help raise, and I've always been successful in everything that I've done, in my own mind, and I wasn't going to let that beat me. It's just not. That's a motivator in itself. And then, just helping people. I'm being in the business since '02 now. I see that there is a whole array of different realtors and what they bring to the table. And when I was buying and selling real estate, just moving from town to town or moving from house to house, I had good real estate experiences and I had bad real estate experiences. Mm-hmm. So I thought that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to have people, be yelling my name and praising me. So that was the goal. That's what also helped me get through it.
Okay. And looking forward, what's your vision for the next 5 years for your business?
I'm gonna grow it.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, you can't do the same as what you did last year. You're gonna have your peaks and valleys, but as long as you have a goal and you set your goals. My goals from last year changed dramatically at the beginning of the year this year when I wrote down my goals. So, you have to have a path forward.
And without giving us the key to the bank, how do you plan on marketing yourself to actually grow your business? Because if you want to get bigger, you got to do things a little differently, or more of, or less of, or what do you have in mind?
Man, it's probably a combination of all of those. I am starting to do more and more social media advertising. There's so many statistics that show not necessarily they are looking to buy a house, but if they are in the market to start selling or buying, it's not an overnight thing. They wake up in the morning and say, hey, let's buy a house, or hey, let's sell a house. There's a long process for those situations, and they're going to research you, so I need to be in places where they're going to be looking. I'm really focusing on my sphere of influence, literally on a daily basis. We have what's called like a 33 touch system where, you know, you email them, you postcard them, you drop by and give them a thank you. And you call them once a quarter just to stay at top of mind. I don't want to be that secret agent. You know, every once in a while you run into a situation and it's someone that maybe you've done business with in the past or a friend of someone that you've done business in the past, and you find out that they bought a house or sold a house and the individual says, well, I didn't know you were still in real estate. So that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen anymore.
There you go. One thing that when we talk about Realtor, there's all these tools out there that make people think they can do it themselves. What are the misconceptions out there about working with a Realtor? What would be, in your opinion, the biggest misconception or myth people have about working with a Realtor?
I would say that it's easy and they'll make more money on it. That's probably what I would tell them. You know, it's not easy, you know, especially in California itself, there are so many rules and regulations that you have to follow that to stay out of court, I would highly recommend any individual contacting a realtor and let them help for a number of reasons. One, the marketing of the house is going to be done, you know, hundreds and hundreds of times better than an individual. And then the contracts that are used have all been written by the National Association and approved by the National Association of Realtors. I know in a listing packet / transaction packet, there's probably, you know, well over 150 pages of documents to protect everybody involved. So I think that is a big misconception that it could be easy, but more times than not, those easy transactions for sale by owners, and there's stats on this too, that literally they know them, it's a family member, and that transaction does go smoothly. So if you know someone who wants to buy your house, whether it be a coworker, someone from church, or a friend or a family member, yeah, you might be able to do it, but still seek out help. You can go to escrow companies, title companies, and they can help walk you through that process.
Okay.
The other misconception is the money. You know, I mean, I think it's 8% of the population out there who buys and sells real estate does it without a realtor. That right there, you know, the fact speaks for itself. And I want to say, you know, there's like 89 things that can go wrong in a real estate transaction. So just be cautious of that. You know, it's not always going to be, you know, I get an offer, I accept it, and it closes in 30 days. There's just a lot of behind-the-scenes things that realtors do to make the transaction go smoothly that some of their clients don't even know about, because we're deflecting those before they come to a head.
Well, let's maybe discuss this almost a little further. Let's say hypothetically you had a family member that lives on the other side of the country and they want to sell their home. What type of advice would you give them to help them sell their home? What should they do? What should they look for? Any tips that come to mind that you tell a family member, just as an example?
I'm not sure if I understood the question. Like, I'm in California. You mean if somebody in Florida wants to move here?
No. Just for you. The reason why I mentioned the other side of the country is that you cannot be helping them yourself. You need to tell them what to do because you can't help them. They're somewhere else. There is another side of the country.
Oh, okay. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I would. I'm a member of Referral Exchange, which is a nationwide referral company that, you know, since I don't know the laws of, you know, Illinois, Missouri, Texas, Florida, things like that, I'm not going to give them advice on what to do. I would get them involved with a professional realtor, whether it be through my Referral Exchange or through Keller Williams. I mean, Keller Williams, we're the largest real estate franchise in the world by agent count. We've got 133,000 agents. So I would refer them to one of my peers in that state and let them handle it.
It's even better than advice.
Yep, even better, much better. But I would still caution them to say, follow, just hire a realtor and let them handle it. It's better for them in the long run, not only monetarily, financially, but emotionally, because it could be a pretty good roller coaster ride, and let somebody else take care of that for you.
Okay. Well, that was awesome. I mean, just in those few minutes there, we had a bunch of gems that people can sink their teeth into. And I really appreciate you taking the time. Now, how can our listeners learn more about you or get in touch with you?
Well, they can do a number of things. They can look for me on social media. Personally, it's Doug Rains, Rains, just like the weather. So Doug is Doug, Rains, Rains. My website is www.dougrains.com. You can search for homes on there. You can find out a little bit more about me, and my bio is on that. My Facebook page is Doug Rains Realtor and San Diego Real Estate with Doug Rains. I've got a cell phone that's on me 24/7. That number is 619-252-8392. Or you can email me. My email address is D like Doug, RAINS, first initial last name, the number 2, @box.net.
All right. That's plenty of ways. So thank you so much for that.
You are very welcome, Eric.
And thank you very much for being here and sharing all this knowledge with our listeners. Once again, I really appreciate you taking the time. So a huge thank you, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, Eric. I appreciate it very, very much. Thanks.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.